Have you ever known exactly what you wanted to say in English, but the moment someone looked at you and asked a question, your mind suddenly became empty? You understand movies. You understand YouTube videos. You understand grammar. But when it is finally your turn to speak, your confidence disappears. Your heart beats faster. Your brain freezes. And simple sentences suddenly feel impossible. If that sounds familiar, today's lesson is going to change the way you think about speaking English forever. Because fluency is not about speaking perfect English. Fluency is about learning how to think clearly, respond naturally, and communicate confidently, even when you feel nervous. Today, we're going to train your brain to think faster in English, speak more naturally, and communicate more intelligently in real-life situations. We will talk about how to stop translating in your head, how to answer unexpected questions naturally, how to sound calm and confident, how to organize your ideas quickly, how to continue speaking even when you make mistakes, and how advanced English speakers communicate smoothly without memorizing everything. This is not a basic vocabulary lesson. This is deep communication training. And if you stay with me until the end, you will understand something very important. Great English speakers are not born confident. They train themselves to become comfortable with uncertainty. Before we begin, if you want to improve your English naturally every day, subscribe to Daily English, like this video, and comment below. What situation makes you most nervous in English? I read your comments, and your experiences help shape future lessons. Now, let's begin. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is believing that speaking fast means fluency. It does not. Some of the most powerful communicators in the world speak slowly. They pause. They breathe. They think. And because of that, people listen carefully to them. But many learners panic during conversations because they think silence is failure. So what happens? They rush. They use random words. They forget grammar. They lose control of the conversation. Real fluency begins when you stop fearing pauses. Think about this. When native speakers talk, they pause constantly. They say, "Well, let me think about that." That's an interesting question. To be honest, you know what? Actually, these expressions are not meaningless. They are thinking tools. Advanced speakers use these small phrases to buy time. And today I want you to stop feeling guilty for needing time to think. Because intelligent communication is not speed. It is clarity. Imagine this situation. You are in an online meeting. Your manager suddenly asks, "So, Daniel, what do you think about the new marketing strategy?" Immediately your brain says, "Oh no, everybody is listening. I must answer perfectly. I cannot make mistakes." And that pressure destroys your fluency. But confident speakers think differently. Instead of trying to sound perfect, they focus on staying connected. So they say, "That's a really interesting idea. I think one thing we should consider is customer behavior." Notice something important. The speaker did not rush. The speaker did not try to sound like a dictionary. The speaker simply created structure. Structure creates confidence. And this is one of the most advanced fluency secrets nobody talks about. When your brain has structure, your mouth relaxes. Most learners practice vocabulary. Some practice grammar. Very few practice communication structure. Let me show you one of the most useful structures in spoken English. The first structure is called point. Reason. Example. Instead of panicking, organize your answer. Point. I enjoy traveling because it helps me grow as a person. Reason. When you experience different cultures, you become more open-minded. Example. For example, when I visited Kenya, I learned how differently people view time, community, and hospitality. Now suddenly your answer sounds intelligent, organized, and fluent. Not because your English became magical, but because your thinking became organized. This is exactly how advanced communicators sound confident. Now let me tell you something many English learners never hear. Your biggest speaking problem is probably not vocabulary. It is emotional pressure. You know more English than you think. But anxiety blocks access to the English you already know. That is why some learners speak beautifully alone but freeze in front of people. Your English ability changes depending on your emotional state. So today I want to teach you something powerful. Stop asking, how can I speak perfectly? Start asking, how can I stay relaxed while communicating? That single mindset shift changes everything. Because relaxed speakers remember more words. Relaxed speakers think more clearly. Relaxed speakers sound more natural. Now, let's train your brain. I want you to imagine this situation. You enter a coffee shop in Toronto. The cashier asks, "Hey, how's your day going?" Many learners panic because they prepared for textbook English. But real conversations are unpredictable. So instead of memorizing exact conversations, train flexible responses. For example, "It's going pretty well so far. I've had a busy morning, but I'm feeling productive." That answer sounds natural because it contains emotion, detail, and rhythm. Another advanced fluency technique is this. Stop answering questions too directly. Native-level communication often sounds indirect, layered, and conversational. For example, question, "Did you enjoy the movie?" Basic answer, "Yes." Natural answer, "Yeah, actually I liked it more than I expected." The ending was surprisingly emotional. Do you hear the difference? The second answer creates connection. And communication is connection, not grammar performance. Now let's talk about something extremely important. Thinking in English. Many learners still translate every sentence from their native language into English. That process is slow and exhausting. Imagine trying to drive a car while stopping every 5 seconds. That is what translation does to fluency. So, how do you stop translating? You train direct association. When you hear the word beach, do not translate it. See the beach in your mind. Hear the ocean. Feel the sun. This is how children learn language naturally. Words become experiences, not translations. And here is an advanced exercise that works incredibly well. Narrate your life in English. When you wake up, quietly say, "I'm making coffee. I need to answer emails today. I'm looking for my keys." This trains instant English thinking. At first it feels strange. Then it becomes automatic. You do not need aggressive English. You need respectful English. For example, "I understand your point, but I see it a little differently." Or, "That's an interesting perspective. Personally, I think." These phrases help you sound mature, calm, and professional. Now, I want you to imagine your future self. Imagine speaking English calmly during meetings, traveling confidently, making international friends, expressing your personality freely. That future is possible, not because you suddenly become fearless, because you keep practicing despite fear. And that is what strong learners do. They continue, even during embarrassment, even during frustration, even during slow progress. They continue, and eventually English stops feeling foreign. It becomes part of you. Before we finish, if this lesson inspired you, subscribe to Daily English, like this video, and leave a comment telling me, what is one thing you'll practice after today's lesson? Your commitment matters, and your future fluency begins with small daily actions. Now, let me leave you with this final message. You do not become fluent in one magical moment. Fluency is built conversation by conversation, mistake by mistake, day by day. Some days will feel amazing. Some days will feel frustrating. But every single time you choose to continue speaking, you are building a stronger English-speaking version of yourself. And one day, without realizing it, you will suddenly notice something incredible. You are no longer translating every sentence. You are no longer terrified of conversations. You are no longer hiding your voice. You are simply communicating, naturally, confidently, freely. And that moment will make every difficult practice session worth it.